October begins with a championship on the line, the heart of the fall season in college golf, as we welcome you to the Northeast and to GreatHorse. It is the 15th UConn Invitational, and today the final round of this 54-hole event. 13 teams came into the week, 78 individuals, all vying for those team and solo titles. And it all comes down to today, one last 18-hole sprint to try and add a trophy to that championship mantle here in the fall. Great to have you along for our final round coverage of the UConn Invitational from here at GreatHorse, live on Golfcast. So excited to bring you the action here today. I'm Mayan Patel. He's Andre Gonzalez, played on the PGA Tour, 5-time winner worldwide. And Dre, we saw this golf course yesterday. It was not easy despite some benign conditions weather-wise. Coming into today, it's Championship Tuesday. What do you expect from the field?
Well, we've seen a lot of pretty good golf so far this week, but today is playing a lot harder. The wind has picked up. It doesn't seem too warm out there, so guys are having to really focus on making sure that you are trying to eliminate mistakes, really. Hit the fat part of the green, give yourself opportunities with putter in hand. Rhode Island has done that pretty well. They are currently 3 under through their first 8 to 10 holes right in that region. Everybody's not playing together, so kind of spread out across the golf course. But let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard as we get ready to get into this round. But right now, Rhode Island is really making a push.
And so it's 54 holes. This is the final round. 5 players from each team out on the golf course. The top 4 scores out of those 5 count towards your team total. And it is Rhode Island, like you said, Dre, making a good push today. One of just 2 teams under par, and the Rams have opened up that 7-shot lead. But still a lot of golf out there to be played. And as we've seen, there's trouble lurking around every corner here at GreatHorse.
Yeah, defending champs and host of the event, UConn, they are 12 over through their first 10 holes, so need to get something going, need to really bear down and try to eliminate leaking oil. But, they're 5-time defending champs. I think that they know how to play this golf course, and it's not going to get any easier as the day moves on.
So let's get you out to the golf course. We'll keep an eye on much of the back nine and some of those final groups coming through. This is the par 3 12th up at the green. We've got the trio of Colin Summers, Pei-Ching Chen, and Brian Zhu for St. John's, Fairfield, and Boston College. And the 12th, a long par 3 on the scorecard, measures 222 yards. Going to play maybe even longer than that today. Dre with the hole cut all the way in the back left. This is a big boy par 3.
Yeah, that's played nicely, though, as far as getting it onto the green. Everything does slope from front to back. So if you can land it somewhere around the middle, it will chase all the way back there.
Yeah, because of that, actually one of the easier holes on the golf course, if you could believe that. Over 220 yards, and it's the 9th easiest hole so far in this final round because of some of those undulations that Andre outlined. So a lot up for grabs. That team title, individual title up for grabs as well. Right now, Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island, 1 under par in this final round, has a 2-shot lead over Colin Summers of Fairfield, who has tapped in for a par there to remain 3 under par and 2 back.
Pink shirts are going to be ubiquitous amongst a bunch of the players today, as it is October 1st, Breast Cancer Awareness Day, so you will see a lot of pink shirts out there.
So let's get you back to the tee box now, and the first of the 5 Villanova, Rhode Island, and UConn trios. This is the Wildcat, Jackson Leonard out of Villanova.
Needs to get something going here. Started on the left side of the tee box, back left pin location, just trying to start it out to the right, maybe move it from right to left. Does my mic sound echoey or no? Perfect.
Oh, what a shot. Needs to settle.
May come back a little bit. It'll stay, but you can see just how quick that is short of the pin, Mayan. Everything is sloped away. Really have to be accurate with where you are landing that short of the green. Short of the pin.
This is the short par 3 15, just a wedge, Dre. 127, the scorecard yardage. And we saw a couple close ones yesterday, but it took late into our coverage window to see anybody in nice and tight.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of really good shots yesterday. Just a little bit right of where the pin was located yesterday. So away from that bowl that protects the middle of the green.
2 more.
Just up on a little plateau back there, hugging against that back edge. No reason to go long because with the green slope from back to front, if you do go long of this, you're going to have a tough time getting that close with a wedge or a putter. It doesn't really matter what the club is, Mike.
That was Benjamin Hong of Boston College. So next up here at the 15th, Peter Crow from Fairfield. Now Fairfield in the team competition, currently in 6th, only 2 shots out of 5th place as they try to maybe climb up inside the top 5 out of these 13 teams.
Looked like a pretty smooth action right there. Does he like it? Not terrible. Not going to hurt him, but he's going to have to work through about 5 feet of fringe, which is never the easiest task, especially with such a quick-paced green right now. These greens out here, Mayan, are just rolling beautifully. I think that the superintendent out at GreatHorse should be very proud of the product that they're putting forward. What a real treat for every one of these collegiates to play.
Yeah, the 6th time that GreatHorse has hosted this UConn Invitational, and this is a golf course that hosted the Massachusetts Open back in 2018 as Douglas Benny misses the green there for St. John's.
Yesterday, we didn't see any movement on leaves or branches or even flag sticks, but today currently blowing about 10 miles an hour out of the east.
So certainly that has led to some challenges, Dre. Not a ton of scores already in, but already playing almost 3 shots tougher than it did yesterday at the golf course. So that breeze certainly causing some issues. The par 4 17th, under 400 yards on the scorecard, and we'll get you up to the green now.
Nice finish there. One of the tougher second shots on this golf course, and it's not overly long, but with it being a little bit below the surface of the green, you can't see really anything but the top of the flagstick. So you're really trusting your numbers and hoping that all your practice is paying off. And just a little cleanup now.
That's Pablo Lacayo out of Sacred Heart finishing up. So we'll get you back to the tee box and the 17th. And Dre, this will be interesting to see the strategy today. Yesterday in our 2-hour coverage window, only one player hit driver. Matt Williams out of Holy Cross, the first tee shot we'll see today, and he's got the iron out.
Just looking to play it left of that little pot bunker in the center of the fairway. Should have enough firepower to cover the right half of the bunkers on the left-hand side, but if he pulls it at all, he really has to get on it to cover the entire length of those left side bunkers. Your guess is as good as mine.
So Williams inside the top 10 right now. We'll see where that ended up for him as he tries to get up towards the green. We'll get you back to the 15th green where the Fairfield, St. John's, and Boston College trio sizes up their second shots. Benjamin Hong of Boston College there.
Yeah.
Lining it up. This is going to be uphill for most of the putt, moving from left to right. You can see a little bit of the discoloration on the left side of the pin, which is the back edge of the green. It does start to fall to the left, so anything that does get left of this hole by about a foot will start to bleed away from it. A little ridge here. Yeah, we'll give him a B.
Yeah, Hong, the senior from California, trying to make one last run with the Eagles towards an ACC title, winding their way towards the NCAA postseason next May. Now the St. John's lefty, Douglas Benny, putter out.
Gets real quick right here, starts running away. There is another ridge. Happens to stay on top of it, though. Not the easiest play right there, Mayan. As far as you're going through about 15 feet of fringe, it's all uphill, and it right when it gets to the pin starts to run back away from you. So it's really a tough shot getting it all the way to the actual hole location, but not running it too far by.
Peter Crow up next out of Fairfield. Dre, is there any chance that this is ever a wedge from back here? Or do you think putter is that prudent play?
I like it from where Crow is putting at the moment. I would have probably played a wedge shot on the pitch or the putt that we just saw working straight up the hill, but at the same time, I'm never going to badmouth anybody that puts a putter in their hand. I mean, I don't think it's a bad play, and it takes out a lot of risk and error.
So we'll see what Crow does. Birdie putt here on the way.
I will say, though, it just looks like it's right on the crest of that portion of the green. So this is going to give players havoc this week, or sorry, today, with that back right pin location at the 15th hole.
This is over at the 9th, another par 3. Scorecard yardage 182 here at the par 3 9th. And today, the final hole for half the field, split tees and threes.
Very hard sloping green from right to left. Oh, give it a chance. Threw that out to the right. You can see just how much slope and how quick that is, but leaving it in a perfect position now from about 12 feet.
And over to the 12th on the tee, Sean Majarian from Rhode Island.
Ooh, this is going to be pretty good here, Mayan. This is going to pick up speed. This has a chance. What a shot from 222. Playing a little bit downwind, but landing that some 25 paces short of the pin and just allowing gravity to do the work.
It is the home event for the UConn Huskies. This is the reigning Big East Freshman of the Year, Bradley Saka.
Seems to be looking at that pretty intently. Another good shot. Flew it into the green a little bit farther, but obviously was able to throw that up much higher. Those are two good looks for birdie here at the 12th.
It's a lot of what the field has done today. Give themselves some opportunities there at that back hole location. Back at the 9th.
Aimed well out to the right, trying to utilize that slope.
Well, Sean Saw from Lafayette. And so the final hole of his week coming to a close, trying to finish things off nice and tidy there at the par 3 9th. We are in Hamden, Massachusetts, the home event for the UConn Huskies, about 24 miles north of campus and stores and this beautiful track, GreatHorse which was purchased by the Antonacci family back in 2012. They put a whole lot of resources into a renovation and restoration of the property. Brian Silva and his team came in and redid this golf course, and it is a scenic gem in the Northeast. Dre, I know you've played there a couple of times. It is a beautiful golf course, especially this time of the year when the leaves start to change colors as we get you out to the 18th tee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Having to play a little bit of a cut off of this hole, and everything does fall off left. Little club twirl, quick tee pickup. This should be perfect.
Bucket hat is out for Pablo Lacayo out of Sacred Heart.
Yeah, it may be chilly, but you got to make sure that you keep that skin protected. Not too bad, though. When they first got out here, maybe 55 degrees. Now just trying to touch 70, just under at 69.
A beautiful day to play some golf out here. GreatHorse. Nolan Sherman from Holy Cross next up.
You got to let FedEx go by, though. They're in a hurry. They are on a time crunch and have to make sure that they get those packages delivered on time. Eyeing it.
Maybe perhaps a little.
It's somewhere out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday, some players having trouble playing the shape that this hole demands left to right, so we'll see if anything changes here today. Now, we've got 3 opportunities at the 12. Saka of Rhode Island, Saka of UConn, Majarian of Rhode Island, and Josh Lavely from Villanova. And we'll see if maybe we can deliver some birdies here, Dre.
That's the plan. They at least put themselves in pretty good position. Again, playing here in the past, this is a very narrow-looking green from the tee box. It's long from back to front, but it just doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of room. But if you get this anywhere on the surface, you're going to be pretty close to the line. You're just trying to make sure that the number's right off of the tee.
So we'll see if any of them can roll in that birdie putt here at the 12th. Hey, Dre, I'm curious on what is your attitude coming into the final round of this event? Do you go out there with a number in mind, trying to post something for your team to make a charge, just see where things end up at the end of the day? Does your game plan change at all going into the championship round?
I would say no. I think a lot of it depends on where you are in the field. If you have a chance to go out and win an individual title, I think that's kind of what you're focused on. And the team aspect, probably more so if you're not in it, knowing that you need to help your team. But that's one thing that's always interesting, not only about team golf, whether it be in college or whether it be the President's Cup like we just saw. You're really focused on your golf game. You're trying to get done what you can get done. And for these players that have a chance to win the individual title, that's probably what they're focused on. And then coming down the stretch, you know that if you have a chance, it's going to help the team. There's no questions about it. So I think that you're really just trying to control what you can and play the best you can, but give yourself the most opportunities, because right now it's pretty windy and these guys aren't going to be given anything out here today.
It's a golf course that's only gotten tougher, Dre, as the week has gone on. The lead after the opening round on Sunday was 5 under par. That was Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island. Right now, back 9 in the final round. The lead is 4 under par. So it's only gotten more and more difficult as this golf course has gotten a little firmer, maybe a little faster, and like you've illustrated, partner, that breeze beginning to pick up as well. This is at the par 3 ninth, where a trio is wrapping up their week. Niraj Shetty of Merrimack, Aiden Acevedo out of Bryant, and Sean Saw from Lafayette, all trying to finish strong here.
You can see the speed that was picked up by these golf balls, anything landing right side of this. Ideally, to get this thing to where it's not chasing, you're hitting a cut into the slope of the green. but very easy to bail out to the right because you know everything will feed down. And this now for birdie.
Acevedo on the way from Bryant. So that'll be a par to wrap things up for his week here at the UConn Invitational.
Now they're going to have to make a trip home. Got to figure out what you need to get done for homework as you head into a normal schedule again. Back to class.
Yeah, this is midterm season. I mean, we're right there in the heart of it, the thick of everything. So you're absolutely right there, partner. Student, athlete, you know that very well. I've played at UNLV yourself, and we'll see if Sean Saw can finish strong. Maybe just a little fooled on the read.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Not the way you want to close out your tournament, but you're done. It's over. Take a breath. I'll tell you right now, Mine, this is not the putt you want for your final putt of the week. This is very quick, moving a tiny bit from left to right. For a right-hander, not the easiest to get something that you need to start outside that left edge and just let it drip.
Merrimack's Niraj Shetty. Oh, hey, there's the way to finish. Pours it in down the hill. Live with you now at the par 3 15th.
127 yards. Ideally just getting something that's going to land a pace short of it. Who is this, Mine? There's plenty of room right of this hole, but there is a ridge that will make it run towards the front right portion of the green. Even though it does gather a ways away, if you're right of that, you're still going to have an uphill look, which probably a little bit better than long. Shot.
How about right at it?
4 or 5 feet. It's tough to tell with all those body mannerisms. He was kind of wiggling around and leaning. I didn't know where that was. But we'll take it. There are no pictures on the scorecard.
Yeah, I've never left the flagstick there. Now, getting a gauge of the wind.
Christian Emmerich, that's my guess.
Christian Emmerich from Boston College tries to follow it up.
Went just a little bit out of the left. Got to be looking at that walking path heading over to the 16th tee just behind the green. Started just a little left, let it bleed. That's what you would do, Mine. I'd check to see where this ball is. Make sure you're not in front of that tee box there, sir.
Did you ever do that on accident?
Yeah, I think everybody has at one point. You're just hoping that it doesn't happen again. It's kind of like signing a wrong scorecard. Once you do it, you probably won't do it again.
Right.
Yep.
It'll be a clever little shot right there coming up. Very makeable, though.
So Emmerich there just off the back. We've got Taj Burke from Fairfield in this group as well, and Tyler Clark representing St. John's. At the 12th, Vibav Alukam from Villanova. Came into the day even par and in a tie for 10th. He's 3 over through his first 11, which is now currently T12, trying to record an individual top 10 finish as the Wildcats try to claw their way back in the team standings.
Tough to tell based off of that reaction. Pretty nonchalant. Doesn't seem overly thrilled with the way his day's going. Needs to get something going, though, to try to help out his team. They started out so strong coming in, having a chance, but just starting to leak a little bit of oil. And once you get one guy doing that, and you have others on your team that can see that leaderboard, you're just constantly trying to make sure that you're picking up your team and trying to help out as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Villanova came into the day inside the top 3, but they are getting lapped in the total birdies department.
Move toward the
20
car
fewer
path.
birdies than UConn is leading the field here in that category this week. At the 15th, on the hunt for birdies, this Fairfield, Boston College, and
just get it as far away as
St.
you can
John's
from the
trio
trees to be able to see the golf still.
Clever little shot coming up here from beyond the green. Looks like there's another ball just short on the fringe as well, or is that my imagination? Looks like my imagination. I think you'll get a lot of people putting this ball. I think that you're going to get a fair amount chipping it as well, but chipping, you take out all of the fringe, trying to land it just on the green with a little bit of check into a slight upslope, but that takes out all the wobbles. Does bring in a little risk if it doesn't check, or you land on a slight firm spot or even a soft spot, that it's not going to come out as consistent as a putter would just as far as speed. But when you keep it on the ground, Mayan, this is going to have some blemishes in the turf, so this should bounce a little bit. Makes it a little bit tougher to judge the speed, especially on the way by.
Christian Emmerich from Boston College, his second shot here at the par 3.
Oh, goodness. I'd have to think if the pin wasn't in, that was going to the bottom.
Yeah, rattled out a few feet as well. Still maybe outside 3 feet there for par. Now, with that rule change, Andre, are you a pin out person at all times still?
Yeah, I'm trying to make that hole look as big as possible, man.
Yeah.
Let's take that pin out.
Now greenside with you at the 12th. Alucom, O'Donovan, and Costello from Villanova, Rhode Island, and UConn respectively here. Breeze starting to pick up a little bit. This par 3 has been accessible today, but still requires a good shot in.
Alucom went up and marked that ball, and it looked like it was only about 15 feet, so not looking too thrilled about it off of the tee box. Got a pretty good result coming up.
Yeah, maybe got a little bit of that ground draw that we've seen some players using that slope here at the 12th. So here is Matt Costello.
I would assume Alucom will be in here rather quickly trying to check out this line.
What a putt. Now at the 15th, after the beautiful tee shot, Josh Burke trying to pay it off.
Birdie for Fairfield.
And he does.
Birdie for Fairfield. Nope, 2 par putts.
Yep, 3 more to go before his tournament is over. If he can rattle off 4 in a row, that would be ideal. Back
15
to number
now.
12 from just long left of the green.
That's Aiden O'Donovan from Rhode Island, and he just runs out of juice there. What's the most birdies in a row you made in competition as we go back to the 15th?
7.
Wow. Where and when?
That was college. Most I ever made in professional golf, I believe, was 6. But college was at New Mexico? University of New Mexico's tournament. the university course of Albuquerque.
I have a feeling that week went well for you, Andre.
Yeah,
the individual champion there, representing those running Rebels in red and black. So that is a drop shot at the 15th for Tyler Clark of St. John's, now at the 12th. And some cleanup left.
Yeah, just never hit it hard enough, and he knew it immediately. As soon as he hit it, hand to the mouth, never really a good sign. Sometimes you just fall in love with the line mine and you forget to hit it. I don't care what level you're at, whether you're playing junior golf, collegiate golf, professional golf, that never feels that good. And it doesn't go away. Sometimes you just don't get it there and you start scratching your head.
Par putt for Christian Emmerich at the 15th.
There's not a lot to this, but just watched his playing partner lip out on that right side. Not the visual you want going into your putt.
Take 9. Go to 9. Pitches a bogey right here.
So he is able to knock that in and card the 3. Well, back over at the 9th, a couple of groups finishing up. This is a Merrimack, Bryant, and Lafayette trio. 78 players in all in the field here this week, 13 teams, and then a handful of individuals in the field as well. One of the Bryant Bulldogs taking aim at the 9th.
This is working back into the wind here.
That was Matthew Young.
You're playing uphill about 3 yards all the way to that back pin. These players can only see about the top half of the actual flag stick. Kind of deceptive, almost makes it seem a little bit longer.
Brendan Zink, not in love with it.
What was your first guess there? Never a good feeling, though. Sometimes you have days where you don't miss the middle of the face, and today may not be that.
Wrapping up his day and his week here at the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. We're not done yet, though. Plenty of action still to come on the other side. The final round of the UConn Invitational right here on GolfCast.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at FlightScope.
If you think about old ideas in new ways, you'll start asking new questions about how a sensor for surgeons can help divers stay safe. Or whether we can make new plastics from old clothes. So you'll begin to understand how things are interconnected, and you'll recognize that the orbit of our planet is the same as the arc of a three-pointer, which will lead you to look for more ways to understand the world. And for that, you'll start at a university where having new ideas has always been the idea.
Great to have you along. It is the final round of the UConn Invitational here at GreatHorse with our wonderful crew, Peter Smith, Gus Garcia, Troy Hagan, Noah out there on the ground for us today as well. Mine Patel, Andre Gonzalez hanging out with you on a beautiful day to crown some champions, team and individual titles up for grabs here, and we are with you on the tee at the par 3 15th.
.127 yards, pin cut all the way in the back. We've seen a lot of players long, and we have another one, Mayan.
That has been the popular spot all week, Dre. Now over at the 12th, Ray Dennehy of the hometown Huskies.
It's far off left.
So that was interesting, Dre. There was a grimace as if he didn't like the shot as it went left, but also a club twirl.
Yeah, sometimes you just got a club twirl because it feels so right.
Boston College Marcus Lamb at 15.
Like his setup here. Setup just left of it, wind pushing to the right. Nice free swing there. There's another club twirl. This is going to leave himself a tough little shot as he rolls up against that primary rough. Back to 12, mine.
Yeah, Luke Stennett from Rhode Island letting it fly.
Leaving that just left of the green. That's not going to be too difficult of a shot. Back uphill, it just depends on the lie and whether he's able to draw something where he doesn't have to think too much about it.
And the final man of this trio from Villanova, Ryan Paymer. He came into the day even par for the week in a tie for 10th, and he's trying to finish out strong here over these last 6 holes. 7 over par here in this final round, looking for a little mojo on the way in.
Going to need it here. I'd get copy.
Been a tough day for Paymer and the Wildcats as a whole here, as that one also misses left. So all 3 tee shots there at the 12th have missed over to the left. That's a long par 3, 222 yards, almost 100 yards shorter at the par 3 15th. 127 on the scorecard, Dre. It is a wedge for everyone in the field.
Let's take a look at this 15th hole. 127 yards. The pin is cut on 33 paces and 12 from the right. There's about 10 paces short of it, but you do have to cover those bunkers guarding the front portion of this green. And once you get past it, you can see that drain beyond the pin. It does start to collect away from it and be in a little bit of a bowl back there, leaving yourself a clever little shot coming up. But this is a great short par 3 and an opportunity to score.
So unlike Fish, this is not a big wedge. This is just maybe a little wedge.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Fish, it looked like he was going to fall back into the sand, which was a Fish song recorded in 1999.
Look at that. Always entertaining and educating here on GolfCast. So this is a birdie try. Second shot from just off the green. Marcus Lamb of Boston College, and he's got the putter out. Jay, we have seen a couple players. Oh, sorry, this is a wedge. We've seen a couple players go with putter from the longer cut. You like the wedge here?
I do like the wedge. I think that with how long that rough is to club and is going to make you kind of want to come in a little bit steeper, so that's tough to do with a putter. A little easier to do with a wedge. You just have to control this spin and how much it checks out of here. And I don't think that's his best, but he's not going to want to redo it. That's a pretty good shot from there when you're coming down at such a steep angle.
What is the wedge of choice from that range? Are you going most lofted, grabbing a 60? Are you going something a little bit further down in the bag?
I think probably a little bit further down the bag for how far that ball had to roll. You're just trying to get that thing on the surface of the green as soon as possible, or at least that's what it looked like he was doing there. That's how I would play it as well. So probably a gap wedge, maybe even a pitching wedge, and once it gets on the green, then you can kind of take out all the other blemishes and start to read it more like a putt.
And it is a putter for the second shot. Rasmus Ditzinger, the Swedish freshman from Fairfield.
He's looking like he's going to have to just hug the sprinkler head that's about 5 feet in front of him, just left of it. This is very makeable from here. You just can't get it running too far by because it does start sloping away past the hole location. See how that just keeps on rolling. Now he's got some work left.
So Ditzinger not home for par yet. The final man of this trio is Joe Dolzal from St. John's. Rocking the visor, Dre. Not the Big Brim Tour visor. This the standard issue. We don't see too many of these now.
Yeah, I wonder if it he was given a hat and he just cut off the top. It's kind of that old Luke Donald style putter. Not putter, hat, visor.
Well, it worked for Luke Donald. Especially worked around the greens for the former world number one. Dolzal unable to cash in that 2 there, but it should result in a par. He'll mark and come back, as will we. We'll take you to the 12th, where we had 3 tee shots missed to the left. Ryan Paymer of Villanova, greenside.
Yeah, depending on his lie, pretty basic bunker shot. Just needs to plop it up on the green. Yeah, that's nicely played. Looked like he was eyeballing that the entire way. Looked very comfortable over that. Maybe looking to make it.
And at 15, Ditzinger. A little work left for par.
It was a quick step. He knew that was in about 3 feet short of the hole. I was always a little bit nervous to do that. Just scared of what the golf gods might do to me if it didn't find the bottom.
Well, Ditzinger will never know there at the 15. That one disappeared into the heart of the cup. And now, for par, Lamb to get up and down.
Got this thing running past just a little bit. I don't think it was that bad a speed, but just well right of the hole. Now trying to clean up for par from 4 feet. Just trying to keep it inside that right edge.
Disappointing bogey there for Lamb at the 12th. That is the second shot of Rhode Island's Luke Stennett. So still working for par, about 15 feet away. Now we'll get you to 15 for some cleanups. This par effort for Joe Dolzal of St. John's. Big week for St. John's. One of their own, Keegan Bradley, winning that clinching point for the United States in the President's Cup. He's captaining the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black, the United States team, next year. So you got to think that this St. John's program is fired up about that and everything that will come with that. Well, certainly there'll be some involvement.
Yeah, you listen to professionals that have competed in a Ryder Cup, and that's some of the most pressure they've ever felt. Not only are they playing for themselves, not playing for a purse, but they're playing for their country and for their team. Bethpage Black does not seem like the place I want to add some more pressure on.
Danger, warning, extremely difficult. And that is the sign that greets you there on the first tee at Bethpage Black. All right, we've got a par putt here at the 12th. Luke Stennett And while he sizes up the par putt, we'll go to the tee at 15 with Pei-Ching Chen from St. John's.
That was lovely. Just based off the swing, I think it's going to be close. But if he's looking that long, it can't be that close.
Coming off a birdie, Chen is 3 under par today, and he's the individual leader, a one-shot lead over Colin Summers, who is playing in his group. So certainly some compelling action coming up there at 15. This is now at 12, a par putt for UConn's Ray Dennehy.
Just a little bit of yard work to do here. No problem.
So Chen with a one-shot lead and has already hit his tee shot here at the par 3 15th. Playing alongside Colin Summers out of Fairfield, and Summers with rounds of 69 and 70 was the overnight leader at 5 under par. But right now finds himself one shot off the lead, stepping in at the par 3 15th.
You can see that ball in the fringe in the back.
Stay
The ball in the
there,
fringe by the
and that's
pin.
going to
Can you see it?
drift farther away. That was such a smooth, small swing. I thought that may have had just not enough spin to get all the way down there, but you can see Chang there on the fringe, Mayan. I'm sure that did something very similar. Landed up near the hole and then spun back down, picking up some pace.
And there's a very tiny shelf that we've seen to be able to get close to that back hole location. Second straight day at the par 3 15th where spin control has been paramount. Final man of this trio is Brian Zhu of Boston College. Came into the day in a tie for 10th, and he's 5 over those first 14, so 5 over for the week. But BC, the Eagles are tied for 3rd at the moment. The team title, barring any catastrophes here in the home stretch, is going to go to Rhode Island. But the battle for second place is on. Boston College right there in the mix, and this could be a big score going towards that if Zhu can finish strong.
I think he was bunker short. Yeah.
That will find the bunker short of the green. Hopefully that did not plug. That could leave even more problems here at the 15th. Whenever you're coming in with a wedge, it's going to have just enough spin and enough elevation on it, Mayan, that ball has a very good chance of being somewhere in the Earth's core.
Which is not ideal there in that Earth's core. So while we wait up here on the 18th tee, let's take a look at this finishing hole, Dre, and your estimation on the best way to play it.
We got to get the ball in the fairway. You're going to want to challenge this right bunker guarding the right half of the fairway as much as possible. But it's tough to do that. You have to play a fade off that tee. It just sets you up out to the left. 453 yards once you do find the fairway. You're playing uphill about 4 or 5 paces to this pin location that is cut on the left-hand side and farther to the back. It's played a shot over par, 1.07 shots over par in the first 2 rounds and halfway through the final round, but not the easiest finishing hole here at GreatHorse.
That is Boston College Benjamin Hong waiting to hit his final tee shot of the week, but we will take you back to this all-important trio at the 15th. The leader, one of the 2 players in second, right here at the par 3, but first up, it'll be Brian Zhu from the front bunker.
I'm not moving. I know.
Yeah, you can barely see his head on the right corner, well below the surface, so he's going to have to use all of his imagination on where he needs to pitch this and how he's going to land it. That just didn't have any spin on it. Wondering if that ball may have been plugged a little bit.
Nothing like fried eggs for lunch.
I'll take fried eggs anytime, Michael. Throw them on cereal. Eggs make everything better.
With a bowl of grape nuts. So Zhu's still working there for par. Now we've got the leader, Pei-Ching Chen of St. John's. He's just short off the green. We did see a couple of players elect a wedge from this spot, but it looks like Chen, Andre, has a putter in hand.
Yeah, I think the other players that we've seen were in the first cut and up against the primary rough, but this one seems to be on the fringe against that first cut of rough. I'm probably going to have a little bit of an issue with it, but not all that much. It's just hard to get really good contact on a putt like this, but it looks like he's just far enough away from that first cut that he's not going to have much of a problem.
Chen, the senior from Beijing, the reigning Big East individual champion, was second team all-conference last year. All region for St. John's, and he has a one-shot lead. Birdie roll on the way.
Did not quite get it there. That was on a very good line. Just didn't quite have enough pace, but that's not going to be a problem.
And
Is
Andre,
this a new thing?
I was just
Are you
going to
say the
ask.
same thing I am? It's eye black, right? Is he wearing eye black?
Yes, I was just about to ask. He is indeed wearing eye black, which I have not seen out on the golf course, but it's something that Chen has done in a lot of his pictures. He does have the eye black on, doesn't always wear sunglasses, but
I have a friend from Boston, Massachusetts, and he wears eye black occasionally too. Played for a while on the tour. James Driscoll, but saw him recently. He's wearing eye black, so maybe that's a Northeast thing I don't know about. This for
Colin
birdie. Does he have
Summers
enough?
to tie the lead, and he comes up just short. Maybe there's something to the eye black. You know what? I'll try it out next time out. Maybe you try it out. We'll report back and let everybody know.
Yeah, maybe I won't though. Maybe if I'm going to go out and catch some fly balls, I'll check it out.
There you go. So this is what's left after Brian Zhu was in the front bunker. Just a revolution off the back of the green for par.
Uphill all the way. The last foot of that starts to trickle away, but obviously a little bit fearful if that gets running past the hole that you don't know when it's going to stop.
So now Colin Summers sizing up his par putt. And Dre, these are two players at the top of the leaderboard. Chen, 5 under with a par putt coming up. He has a one-shot lead over Summers, who's putting for par now, and Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island a couple groups back. At this point, do you know where you stand? Has your coach come and had that conversation with you? Do you even want to know where you are in the tournament standings?
I think at this point you do. You want to make sure that you're getting putts to the hole, and if you need to lag it, that you're still trying to get it past it. But at this point in the tournament, I think it's imperative. I think that you should know, just so that it almost becomes a match play situation, especially if you're both in the same group. If you're not in the same group, there's nothing you can really do. So you're kind of playing the best that you can. But coming down the stretch, especially if somebody's on the green and they're both tied, or you know that it has to go in, you're not going to leave a putt short, and it doesn't really matter. If you're not playing for first at that point, you at least want to make sure that you give yourself every opportunity.
So Chen,
Yes.
to keep a one-shot lead. And he rolls it in, so he does get up and down from just short and in the fringe there. Pei-Ching Chen, the St. John Senior with a one-shot lead, 3 holes left. Now, there are a few players in the trailing groups from Rhode Island and UConn that can maybe track down a number posted by Chen or Summers. And here is one of those trios at the 12th. And Tyler Bruno from Rhode Island is in this group. He's one of those players just one back at 4 under par. So while they run through their efforts, we'll get you to 15. Jackson Leonard, Villanova.
Not having a whole lot of fun or success this week. This should pick up a little bit of speed, but it does roll down into this bowl as it starts to move back up from there. That turned out a lot better than I think he really anticipated in the first place. At least he's able to keep a smile on his face, just knowing that it's a tough week. Some weeks you just don't have it. Can't tell your coach that, though.
Trying to find it here on the way in. He's got 3.5 holes left. We'll call it. Now Tony Liu from Rhode Island walking in.
I like this pin location. There's a lot of room both left and right on it. You're just trying to take dead aim and make sure your number is correct. That's going to leave a clever little shot, too. You've noticed that, Mayan, with everything landing on the green, spinning back, it does roll up against those little edges.
At the 12th, second on the way, Matt Zerfus from Villanova.
Not his best effort, unable to find the putting surface, but going to have an uphill look coming back from the fringe.
After a 68 yesterday, Zerfus was just one shot off the lead coming into this final round, but has collected a few bogeys. He is 4 over today and now outside the top 5, but a couple of birdies and he's got a podium finish. And if he is able to find some magic, maybe run the tables on the way in.
Bucket hat as a
individual
coach.
Crown perhaps still in sight.
Arms crossed.
So this was the final group off of the first hole, split tees and threes, and it is the defending individual champion, Connor Good, for UConn. He was 2 back coming into today, and, well, he's just 3 shots off the lead, so Good still right there in this string, trying to go back-to-back and win this event for a second straight year.
He's currently only 3 back, so everything matters coming down the stretch. No need to give any more away. Pars and birdies is all we're looking for here. Maybe. Just skirts by that left edge.
It's a good, likely looking at a par there. Last year when he won this event, the winning score, 1 under. 5 under right down, leading the way late in the final round.
And there's only 6 players under par currently. Not a whole lot, as GreatHorse is really showing its teeth, especially today with the breeze picking up.
A big ballpark, just under 7,100 yards here this week. A GreatHorse as Zerfus tries to get up and down from the bunker.
We'll leave him a little bit perturbed.
And now at the 15th, first of the 5 threesomes out there for Villanova, Rhode Island, and UConn today. Dre, I think this ended up better than what Jackson Leonard thought it was off the tee, like you said, so he's still got some time to wait because we've got some shots from the front of the green. So we'll go to the 12th. This is a birdie putt for Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island to tie the lead.
Great shot to get it to this point. Putting back up slope. Sliding just slightly away from him. I know people say Kobe, but do people say Caitlin Clark yet? Or no?
We will talk about Bruno. He is in with a birdie there at the 12th. This is from Caitlin Clark range, Dre, and, well, it doesn't fall. That was un-Clark-like from Holy Cross, from Rhode Island and Tony Liu.
Left or right from there. Right is better, leaving yourself the uphill look. Now, this for par.
That was Connor Good. 15, Leonard.
Maybe. But
yes! One-handed.
I don't think he was thinking birdie after he hit that shot off the tee. That was not the best strike as it went well long, but able to use some of that slope. And everything is always very easy to level out with that flat stick.
Does that make you feel better at all about the Aaron tee shot when the putt pays it off?
For sure it does. I mean, I think that he's going to be ear to ear grinning all the way to the 16th tee box.
Yeah.
And he's got the honor now, so that's just a little bonus.
Tony Liu finishing up for Rhode Island. That was a big birdie putt for Villanova because Villanova is trying to climb back inside the top 5 and take that 5th position outright here.
No, leave it.
This week, plenty. Currently in a tight battle with Fairfield for that spot, and a par for Liu.
He can leave it.
For Rhode Island, and Rhode Island running away with it. The lead has grown. The Rhode Island Rams 4 under par today, 1 overall as a team. That is an 11-shot lead here on the back 9 of round 3 at the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. So we've hit the home stretch. This is our beautiful backdrop here in Hamden, Massachusetts. GreatHorse Golf and Country Club, a beautiful par 72 track that can stretch out to 7,600 yards if you have everything all the way back. We're playing at just under 7,100 yards here this week for 13 teams, 78 players in this 15th edition of the UConn Invitational. Bradley Saka of UConn just off the back of the 15th green there.
Well, we've seen a lot of shots long of the green. We've seen a lot of shots landing next to or just short of it and spinning off the front. We haven't seen all that many with the proper distance, which means that this is going to be a tough pin to get close to as we move on through this final stretch. Anything that has been landing up near it has enough spin. And so to take anything off that and get it close, you're going to have to club down and really take off some speed just so that there's not as much rotation on that golf ball.
The Rhode Island lefty, Sean Majarian in the air.
It's a pretty good shot right there.
I choked down a little, saw some of that spin control that you were talking about, Dre.
If you can get it just beyond the pin location, it's going to have a little trouble spinning back up that slope as well. So he's going to have a nice uphill look, except for that last foot that we talked about. It does get quick past it.
Josh Lavely, repping Villanova, last up.
Somebody's going to get a look.
Home stretch here on Championship Tuesday, the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. Our final round coverage continues here on GolfCast.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at
I'm so glad
flightscope.com.
that you're so good at
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at FlightScope.
If you think about old ideas in new ways, you'll start asking new questions about how a sensor for surgeons can help divers stay safe. Or whether we can make new plastics from old clothes. So you'll begin to understand how things are interconnected, and you'll recognize that the orbit of our planet is the same as the arc of a three-pointer, which will lead you to look for more ways to understand the world. And for that, you'll start at a university where having new ideas has always been the idea.
With half man, half amazing, Andre Gonzalez, our entire wonderful crew led by Peter Smith, Gus Garcia. We've got Troy Hagan out at the 15th, Noah on the ground as well. Mayan Patel with you from GreatHorse and the final round of the UConn Invitational right here on GolfCast. Final part 3 of the week is the 15th. Josh Lavely from Villanova just off the back of the green.
Man, that's not going to be enough, but that's going to be a very typical miss that you see from back here, Mayan.
How's that?
This thing running too far past the hole.
Yeah, how's that affect what Bradley Saka is about to do? Got a pretty good teach there in your eyes?
I would think 100%. He was quick into that frame and paying attention to what the ball did, but not only that, I think most of the time, especially from the fringe, you're able to see how hard somebody's hitting it. Beautifully done there.
And Saka, the reigning Big East Player of the Year for the UConn Huskies, who are hosting this event for the 15th time. They are 5-time team champions. Not going to win this year, most likely. That'll be the Rhode Island Rams, it looks like. But early here in the fall, just the second event of the fall for the Huskies. As we have a birdie putt from Sean Majarian. Sizing up a birdie putt here. And Dre, curious on how you view the fall in college golf. Obviously, a full slate of tournaments, but trying to prep for those conference championships in the spring, get towards the NCAA tournament. Are you working through stuff throughout the fall, trying to fine-tune that game for when the new year comes around?
I don't know if you're ever – I mean, you're constantly working on – things, but it's mainly when you're at home. Once you're at golf tournaments, the work has been done. You need to go out and just focus on playing, and you're trying to make as many birdies as possible. The great thing about college golf is that you're competing all the time. If you're not in a tournament, you've got guys that are all trying to travel. A lot of these teams have 12, 13, 14 players on it, and only 5 get to travel unless you take individuals. But You're constantly battling. You're constantly trying to fine-tune. But when you get to the tournament, now, everything's out the door. It's just time to go get the ball in the hole as fast as possible. It doesn't matter how you do it.
So 3 pars there at the par 3 15th. And it's going to be an exciting finish. Looks like the Rhode Island Rams are going to take the team title here. But we have a lot to settle. A bunch of players still in the mix for the individual title. 2 players tied at 5 under par, and it will all come down to this finishing par 4 18th, 453 yards on the scorecard. We're out.
Waiting for that fairway to clear up there. There are some carts out there. Tough to tell if that is some coaches, maybe some rules officials, but pretty good target now. You can throw it right at one of those cards, let it bleed to the right.
See where that ended up there at the 18th. Now at the 15th, Matt Costello, UConn.
He's probably talking to me right now and he can't even hear me.
Well, Lion,
Hear him.
that's
Let me call you
not a
back in
good
2
spot.
seconds. Hold on.
We will see some short game stress.
Stress for sure. Depending if it's in that long fescue, we may have to see long game type swings for a short shot.
Aiden O'Donovan.
127.
Yep.
The front.
Yeah, the wind's dancing around a little bit. That landing on the green and moving back towards that front fringe.
What makes short par 3 so difficult, Dre? We see it, you think about the 17th at TPC Sawgrass, obviously an island there, but even the U.S. Open a couple years ago at LACC, less than 100 yards, that par 3 17th, and yet so many players having fits, and we're seeing this 15th give players trouble, just 127.
I think so much of it is just where you put pin locations and the amount of slope that is around the pin location. Like right here, short right of it, there's a little ridge, maybe 10 feet. Anything beyond it starts sloping away. There is a ridge to the left cutting through the screen north and south. There's just a lot of different variables that if you aren't landing it in the proper spot with the right amount of spin, you're going to have a tough shot coming up.
Yeah, that was Vibhav Alucum of Villanova who spun it back towards the front of the green there as well. So everybody here on the Inward 9, last hour or so of play of the UConn Invitational here at GreatHorse, coming to you live on GolfCast. What a cool, fun event. GolfCast, a series of golf events covering junior, collegiate, and pro events, all listed on our gklive.tv site, right where you're watching right now. That's a list that updates every December at the GCAA convention in Las Vegas, and GolfCast is endorsed by the GCAA. So great to have your company here on this first day of October. It is underway, and it'll start with a championship being handed out in Hamden, Mass at GreatHorse.
Do you have 17 back?
So this hole will be a big protagonist in the action right now, keeping our eyes at the top of that leaderboard. Pei-Ching Chen of St. John's, Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island, both tied for the lead at 500 par. Colin Summers of Fairfield is one shot back of that. And then UConn's Ray Dennehy, who will make his way through the 15th here shortly, 2 off the lead at 3 under par. But first, Dre, we've got some trouble. Second shot for Matt Costello back here.
Trouble indeed. This is not going to be all that easy. You can see the giant step that he took to just get out of the bunker. So he's going to need to get this ball up rather quickly, and then the entire green does slope away from him and down to the left. Not a lot of speed is needed for this, just trying to plop it onto the first foot or so of this green. Ooh, that caught a fair amount of ball. There's a little backstop there, but that will start to work away. Group 13.
So still not in for his par. As Aiden O'Donovan circles back to the front of the green.
Still nothing on 17.
got a long way to traverse from short left of this pin location in the back right. And there's a lot of slope here, mine. This is going to be uphill, moving from left to right. And then once he crests the ridge at where he's standing right now, Alucum is going to have to really ride the ridge that the pin is located on. Anything left of it does start to break left. Anything right of the hole will fall down below the hole location. So this is a very precise putt. Speed is going to be his #1 priority.
Vibab Alucum, the younger of the two Alucum brothers on his team. His older brother Vimal is a senior. This is the freshman from Ypsilanti, Michigan on the way. And that is still in that 5-foot territory for a par.
Little tidbits.
12 should be done.
Leave himself a little bit of work there, but at least he's working back up the slope. Correct. Your math
Here
is
is
just
Aiden
impeccable.
O'Donovan from Rhode Island, junior out of Somerville, Mass.
This needs to get some legs. I don't think he hit that nearly where he wanted to on the club face. You don't really miss-hit putters all that often, Mayan, but when you're up against that fringe, it just leaves a little bit of doubt, some tentativeness, so maybe you're not coming through quite at the pace that you'd like to, knowing that you're going to hit the ball on the bottom part of the club, and that will take off a little bit of pace.
Costello here for UConn. The lefty was in the back greenside bunker. He's a freshman from Taunton, Massachusetts, out of Bishop Stang.
Uphill most of the way. Should be marking a little bit from left to right. He will have to give away that left side. No problem there. That was buried.
How about that up and down? What a sandy save for the freshman, Matt Costello, in with a par 15.
You have any more words for me? Because I'm all fresh out because I used them so fast. Fairly similar line right here, working uphill a little bit more.
O'Donovan for par.
Just a little bit of frustration.
Sour 4-3 whacks of the putter there. Now Alucum for par for Villanova.
Currently 3 over on his round today. Trying to stay there. No need to drop any more. I just never really had a chance. Kind of came over the top of it.
So the man in perhaps the worst position off the tee is the only one that walks away with a par there. What a funny game we play that we love.
Right now. So we got time.
It's kind of annoying too, isn't it? Especially when you're the other two.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, there's times when there's nothing better than playing golf, and there's other times you just wonder why we play this game.
Well, this is at the ninth. Yeah, a couple groups finishing up. Dre, this is one of the final 5 trios. There are a bunch of individuals in the field here. This is the home event for UConn. This is Vikram Kananki playing as an individual here this week, alongside Connor Keel of Siena and Will Musson playing as an individual for Boston College. So Kananki trying to wrap up his week on a high note here at the par 3 ninth, 182 the scorecard yardage.
This hole does play up about 3 paces, but back into the wind as well, so adjusted almost to about that 190 number. Not a bad shot. Will it stay on the green? It will not. That will roll to the fringe, but that just shows how steep that angle is. You may wonder if the camera is set up a little bit crooked or cockeyed, if you will, but it is not. That is just how steep that slope is as we jump back to the 17th fairway, Maya.
Yeah, less than driver has been the play off the tee to try and leave yourself in this spot. And we have a couple of approach shots coming up. A Boston College, St. John's, and Fairfield trio. And that's a birdie putt coming up.
Yeah, that may chase off the green, though. There is a false front. Stops on the fringe, but that was the second shot from the 17th fairway.
Yeah, that was Brian Zhu of Boston College. This is back here up on the tee, Dre. And, you know, we still really haven't seen driver today. Has that surprised you at all?
A little bit, but I think that everybody has a game plan with their coaches, and coaches like to see balls in play. They don't like to see a whole lot of risk taken. You start to see that a little bit more when guys get out and there's a little more freedom as far as you are the final decision maker. But in college, a lot of times the coaches, he wants to see everybody kind of playing from the same spot, unless you're one of those freaks that just can do whatever you want with a golf ball.
Kind of like you. Jackson Leonard, Villanova.
Leaking out to the right a little bit. Just right of our screen.
Iron in hand for Tony Liu. This the longest iron in the bag? Is it a 2-iron, a driving iron of some sort, or are we talking 4-iron?
Looks like it has some kind of graphite shaft, so I would assume this is the longest iron. We're starting to see so many hybrids go into play. Now, I know he's older, but I just saw a clip of Fred Couples, and the longest iron he has in his bag currently is a 7-iron.
I saw that as well. And then he hit a 6 hybrid to 5 feet at Pebble Beach a couple weeks ago.
He still gets it. Back to 15, 127.
The Ray Dennehy shot on the way.
And he is not going to be upset about this. Even though he is not on the surface, that is a great look for birdie and only has to go through about 15 inches of fringe, so that should not be a problem for him at all.
Playing alongside Rhode Island's Luke Stennett.
Like his little rehearsal swings, just a little cut off punch shot. Usually know it's pretty good if you're swinging the arms. Another good one.
Some big putts coming up on the green. The leader is in this group, but first it is Brian Zhu of Boston College on the way for birdie.
Really nice effort there. Uphill all the way. That was from distance too, so probably throw a spot on it, but not going to have much of an issue.
Ryan Paymer here from Villanova. 15 tee.
tough time today. 7 over for the tournament, and every one of those shots came today. Currently 7 over par on his round. Will it stay?
Stay.
It doesn't look like it will. That should pick up a little bit of speed right here, start running away. Just a clever little pin there, Mayan. It's not the easiest thing to get close. The closest shots that we've seen have kind of been right behind on the fringe.
So we'll see if anybody can roll in a 2 there at 15. He is the leader. He is the senior at St. John's. Pei-Ching Chen with a 1-shot lead. Oh, he's now been caught. Tyler Bruno just picked up a birdie to tie him at 5 under par. So Chen, the co-leader with Rhode Island's Tyler Bruno. Chen will have to post a number and then see what Bruno, Dennehy, and some of the chasers behind him do. But for the moment, a chance to reclaim the outright lead.
He has the round of the day going right now. 3 under par through his first 16 holes. Can he get it to 4? Trying to build on the good play already and see if he can take the lead one more time. Just maybe some nerves right there. Not getting it there, knowing the situation and where you're at. There's no need to want to 3-putt. Would like to see that the same distance, just a little bit past the hole. You got to give it a chance.
Chen is out in front, Trey, so he'll be the one that posts that first number on the board. Expect him to get aggressive coming up that 18th, knowing that the players behind him will have some more opportunities.
I mean, I think everybody's hitting driver off that tee. If you mean aggressive by hitting the fairway and hitting the middle of it, yeah, I hope so. But again, I think that it's a long enough hole and playing uphill. 453 yards back into the breeze. I just think getting it in play is going to be his biggest key as he heads to the 18th. And then once you're in the fairway, you got to find the putting surface. How aggressive do you want to be from there? I don't know. I'm not in his situation. But I think a lot of it depends on just how comfortable you are at the time.
This is Fairfield's Colin Summers. He was the overnight leader after round 2. A couple over par today, and that is a good putt to salvage a 4. Coming off a bogey, so 3 under par, 2 shots off the lead as he heads to his final hole of the week, but still in line for a top 5 individual finish here this week.
And you never know what can happen as well. If he can go out and make a birdie on 18, you don't know. Maybe Chen will come back, make a bogey, and then all of a sudden he's tied for the lead once again. So you do not want to get complacent. You want to make sure you finish the race. And if you can find birdie, you just don't know if the other guys are going to help you.
Sue in with a par there, and Chen likely wrapping up his par here at 17 as well. So we'll go to the 15th and the Ryan Paymer effort.
And that just wasn't enough pace, but we can confirm that Pei-Ching Chen did make his par putt at 17 and is still in a share for the lead at 5 under par as he heads to the 18th tee box, which we've seen it. Not the easiest tee shot, not the most inviting there, Mayan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll see what Chen is able to do at the last. He is tied with Tyler Bruno, who is in the next group coming to this par 3, the 15th. But right now it is Bruno's Rhode Island teammate, Luke Stennett, also having a great round today. He's 3 under in this final round, solo 5th at the moment. This to get to 2 deep on the week.
Does it have enough pace? Been a little bit surprised with what I've seen here so far today, Mayan. I just expect to see a few more putts get to the hole. We've seen a whole lot of them. Maybe 80% of the putts we've watched have been just short.
Well, Dre, Ray Dennehy is still right there in this golf tournament. He's one shot off the lead, 6 birdies so far today. This would be his 7th through his first 15 holes and tied the lead at 5 under par.
Yeah, that means the firepower's there, so got to be feeling pretty good over this club. Waiting for it to go right, but never did. Just a bit of a misread. He looks like a big fella, too. Pretty sturdy. Kind of looks like a Patrick Fishburne from BYU that plays on the PGA Tour right now.
And Fishburne hits it a mile and then some. Dennehy, the senior who transferred in after starting his collegiate career at Lafayette, in with a par. He's one shot off the lead, trying to be the second straight Husky to take home the individual title at UConn's home event, this UConn Invitational. So Dennehy one back, 3 holes left in his final round as Paymer cleans up.
Nice stroke there.
And just a little bit left for par for Luke Stennett. Big part of the reason that Rhode Island is running away with the team lead. Looks like the Rams are going to take that team title. They've got a 10-shot cushion comfortably in first place here late on Tuesday and in the final round. 4 under par as a team today. Just remarkable golf out of the Rhode Island Rams here in round 3.
Here on the tee, we have Pei-Ching Chen that is waiting for the fairway to clear at the 18th. I mentioned that he has the round of the day going at 3 under par. We just saw Luke Stennett also 3 under par, and he's got some holes left. Let's take a look at the 18th hole. 453 yards. You want to challenge these bunkers on the right-hand side of this fairway as they guard that side of the short grass. If you can find fairway, you are going to be playing up some 3, 4, maybe even 5 yards, depending where you are on the fairway, to get all the way back to this pin location. There's a big collection area on the right-hand side. I don't know if it's a collection area or a bank, but the front half of this green, if you miss it out to the right, it will feed back down to the green, giving yourself an opportunity to try to make birdie. But this pin all the way in the back, 34 paces on, right in the middle. It does fall off immediately after with short grass, so if you get this thing tumbling through the green, it will not stop anytime soon. You got to make sure that you leave this ball just short of the hole and keep the hole in front of you.
So Chen visualizing his final tee shot of the week here, perhaps. And while he waits for that fairway to clear, we'll bounce back right next door at the 17th. This par 4 has been less than driver off the tee, but a little tricky up on this green as the Jackson, Leonard, Tony Liu, Alex Hurd threesome have arrived.
Do you want me to abandon green and go back and do that?
This is a tricky little green. Kind of a turtle back here. Mine, as far as on the right half of the green where this hole is located right now, everything does slope from the center all the way to the right, but if you get farther left of where this player is, you can see it fall back down towards the valley, and that 16th hole just lurking behind. All
so
right,
here we go.
Big tee shot coming up here by Chen.
He was 2 over through his first 4 holes today. Dre has made 6 birdies since, 3 under par, one of the rounds of the day. Here in the final round, Pei-Ching Chen tied for the lead at 5 under.
Gotta find the fairway. That's a stressful look. Unfortunately, Mayan, I do not know where that went, but I did not see it in short grass. So if it is, it wasn't where we could see it.
Yeah, unclear where that ended up, but didn't look like it was in the garden spot for Chen. So something you alluded to on the last, Dre, that two-shot swing still in play. Colin Summers from Fairfield actually coming off a bogey there at the 17th. So he is 3 shots off the lead, hunting for a final fairway. And so back-to-back bogeys at 16 and 17 for Summers have knocked him 3 off the lead. Looks like he may have missed the fairway there at the final hole as well. All right, Brian Zhu of Boston College. And the Eagles could finish in second place. A couple of birdies, and maybe Boston College is the runner-up in this event. All starts with Zhu here on 18.
Had a good first couple days. 6 over on his round so far today. Tough to tell, but it's the name of the game, Mayan. You go up there, you find it, and you hit it again.
I like that. Sometimes it's just see ball, hit ball. Is it ever that easy? See ball, hit ball? You ever get in that flow state?
Oh, yeah. More than you know, Mayan.
I'm envious.
You don't ever have it?
No. It is see ball, think a million things. If you're lucky, hit ball. Tony Liu misses the short one at the 17th for Rhode Island. So that makes things a little bit closer at the top of this team leaderboard, but the Rams with a 10-shot cushion. So should not cost them too much. That's certainly not what Lou was hoping for.
Yeah, he's also the number at 6 over so far today. He is not the player that they are counting. So at this point, it doesn't do a whole lot, but you'd like to see your players and your buddies finish strong and finish well.
That's a great point, Dre. 5 players out there from each team today. Top 4 scores are the ones that are counting towards your team score. As we wrap up the UConn Invitational here. Always great to be at beautiful GreatHorse in Hamden, Massachusetts. This wonderful property. And this is that finishing perch up on the 18th green, Rasmus Ditzinger of Fairfield.
This is just such a great finishing hole. The clubhouse is uphill to the right of it, and as you can see in the background, you can see pretty much every hole on the entire course from the clubhouse as it sits on top of a hill next to a pool. Great practice facilities. This is just a phenomenal venue to host a collegiate event, and as you mentioned, they've had the Massachusetts State Open here before, so this is quickly becoming one of the mainstays for big-time tournament golf here in the state of Massachusetts.
It was originally Hamden Country Club, then the Antonacci family, known for their magnificent harness racehorses, purchased the property back in 2012. They put $55 million into a renovation and restoration to turn it into that gem that it is now a dozen years later. Joe Dolezal, St. John's, finishing up.
Working back down slope. Will it break back? Pretty good putt. Too hard to be all that disappointed with it. You can see everything in the background and just a beautiful view, Mayan. And you give it 1-2 more weeks and that is all going to be just bright, vibrant colors of reds and oranges, yellows. Fall is here, and with the breeze today, it definitely feels like it.
Yeah, it has. It's been a tough scoring day here at GreatHorse. You take a look at the breakdown of the scoring average from the field by round. There are 78 players here in the field this week. In round 1 on Sunday, scoring average was just a tick over 75. It was 76 yesterday in round 2. 78.65 here in this final round, this third day. So certainly the breeze making it a little trickier here to wrap up the UConn Invitational.
Let's not get it twisted either. There are some final round pin locations. We're seeing it on the 127-yard par 3 15th. Not the easiest, as he had a buried 8-footer.
That was Marcus Lamb there out of Boston College. Always good to see that last one fall. So here we go. 15th tee with Matt Zerfus of Villanova.
Not having his best stuff today. 6 over par, 2 over for the tournament. Had it going. Came into the final round in a tie for second and just starting to leak some oil. You never know what's going to happen when you get to the final round. A little bit of pressure.
On green at 17, Bradley Saka, Son Majarian, Josh Lavely. The second of 5 UConn, Rhode Island, and Villanova trios. And it is, looks like the Rhode Island Ram getting ready to go. Might be Saka of UConn.
Saka playing in his sophomore year. Leaving himself in a nice position here. Front right portion of this green, back upslope. Taking a few extra looks here. I can't imagine this doing a whole lot one way or the other, and those are the ones that are the most difficult to read. It's just hard to imagine, Mayan, that anything on God's green earth is just going to be perfectly straight.
I just wiggled off there for Saka. Always tricky on the ones, like you said, Dre, that are straight. Feels like everyone's always looking for that break, and you can see when players take that extra couple seconds to try and just find something in the putt, as it does not fall for Saka. Josh Lavely. Just creases that low right edge.
Pei-Ting Chen just teed off of 18. Is there a chance that this is Alex Hurd? Little tap in.
No, I think because we saw that that Rhode Island non-counting score from Lou on 17 where he missed the short one.
Copy.
And the lefty.
Back uphill now. This from about 6.5 feet.
Majarian able to knock it in there. Just a little left for Lavely.
Needs to see this fall. Your head's got to be spinning a little bit right now. That wasn't all that long, maybe 4.5, 5 feet, and it just didn't even touch the hole, and that just can leave your head not in a good place.
Final group to make their way through the par 3 15th, and that includes Tyler Bruno, who is one shot off the lead from Rhode Island. But first, the man of the moment, Matt Zerfus, Villanova.
Zerfus wants to finish strong here. I'd like to at least get it back to level par. Currently 2 over for the tournament. Thanks, Peter.
So Bruno is coming off of a bogey at the par 5 16th, which means Pei-Ching Chen for the moment, the outright leader at 5 under par. But here is Tyler Bruno from Rhode Island, the front of the green. If it falls, he once again grabs a share the first.
Even par on his round today. Very common spot that we've seen a lot of these players play from. And that looks like it's just outside that circle of friendship.
Just a tiny bit of stress. Certainly Bruno knows where he stands in all of this. And the final man of this group is last year's individual champion. That would be UConn's Connor Good. Had back-to-back bogeys at 12 and 13, so Good not having the greatest run on the way in, but a nice wedge in here at the 15th, trying to undo some of that damage and finish strong.
Nice uphill look here, but it does get quickly moving just beyond the hole. That's a great putt right there.
Now, we had a great look at it. Troy Hagan out providing all the angles, never wiggled offline, and worthy of a fist bump. Birdie from the UConn Husky, Connor Good.
Everything counts coming in. You just don't know what nerves are going to do to players. You got to keep pressing, trying to make birdies. You don't know if Rhode Island is going to come back to you. Hard to win golf tournaments.
No doubt about it. Zerfus for par.
Just a frustrating day. That moves him to 3 over for the tournament and 7 over on his final round.
18th green now. Brian Zhu, long putt for Boston College. That comes up a little bit shy. That is the leader, Pei-Ching Chen. Left side of your screen. He has a one-shot lead right now over Ray Dennehy and this man, Tyler Bruno. 4 under par, trying to stay one back, and he knocks it in.
Kind of gave a little head lean like he wasn't so sure about that. But it's in the bottom.
Finishing hole, perhaps the finishing putt. Could it be enough to provide a victory? Pei-Ching Chen from St. John's, the senior from Beijing, won the Big East individual title last year. He was second team all-conference, looking to finish with a birdie and post 6 under par.
This is a huge putt. I can't imagine anybody's going to catch him if he gets this thing to fall. There are some holes left, though, but this would create a great cushion.
Chen will put the mark in, come back, still a couple feet there.
He's going to have to think about it for a moment, though. quick putt here over this turtleback, uphill, and then as it crests the center of the green, starts running away from him. So very tough putt to judge the speed.
Rhode Island's Aiden O'Donovan.
There she goes.
Wow. Wow. Still working for par there at 17. Up to the finishing hole. Brian Zhu for par.
Was that last putt Rhode Island? Unfortunate. Just a rough way to finish your round. Never like 3-putting, but especially on the last hole.
And that is the final putt for the Boston College Eagles. So, barring a couple of St. John's bogeys or UConn bogeys, BC is going to finish in 4th in the team competition. That was the putt at 17 for Matt Costello. Now at the 18th, Fairfield's Colin Summers. He was the 18-hole leader, wrapping up his week.
Yeah, buried that. That was a nice committed stroke. Probably not exactly where he wanted to finish out in this tournament, but all in all, a very good showing. Currently in 4th place, 2 under par and 3 back of this man right here, Pei-Ching Chen.
Short putt left for par for a final round 69. 6 birdies today for the St. John's senior. Trying to post 5 under par in the clubhouse lead.
Ooh. It caught the left edge, but once it stopped moving, it was right in the middle. 5 under par for Pei-Ching Chen. Final round 3 under par. What a solid finish, and now he just has to sit and wait, man.
He can exhale now. I was holding my breath for a second on that putt, Trey, but like you said, he's in the house at 5 under. That is the lead. So the question is, can anyone catch him? There's a couple players out on the golf course with a very real possibility, but it will take some birdies. 17th green, Vibhav Alukam of Villanova. Good putt there from inside 5 feet for Alukam.
Yeah, still searching for his first birdie, and he's only got 1 hole left. 4 over on his round today, but definitely going to be a counter for Villanova. 23 over par in the final round, not their best stuff. Never really look forward to that as you get down the stretch. Their coach is going to have a talk with them after that.
Matt Costello from UConn. Is in as well there at the 17th. All right, things are getting exciting. Pei-Ching Chen, the St. John senior, in the house at 5 under par. That is a 1-shot lead. A couple players trying to catch him at the UConn Invitational.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at FlightScope.
If you think about old ideas in new ways, you'll start asking new questions about how a sensor for surgeons can help divers stay safe. Or whether we can make new plastics from old clothes. So you'll begin to understand how things are interconnected, and you'll recognize that the orbit of our planet is the same as the arc of a three-pointer, which will lead you to look for more ways to understand the world. And for that, you'll start at a university where having new ideas has always been the idea.
Welcome back to GreatHorse. It's the final round of the UConn Invitational, wrapping up this fall event. 13 teams began the week, 78 individuals, and it is all going to come down to the final 30 minutes of action. The Rhode Island Rams on their way to winning a team title, but we've got some individual hardware to hand out. St. John Sr., Pei Ching Chen in the house at 500 par, a couple players out on the golf course who can catch him, perhaps. And now it'll be on the tee at the finishing par 4 18th. Josh Lavely for Villanova.
Finds the center of the fairway there, and he's going to have a look at a center cut pin all the way in the back. So if he can get that number right, he's going to be in great position here to add another one for Villanova. But just not having their best stuff today. So every single chance you get to finish strong, show your coach that you're still fighting, I think that's going to help them moving forward. And you're always trying to make sure that you are making pars and birdies coming down the stretch. That's the last thing you want to do, is leak more oil.
Yep, it's the heart of the fall schedule here in college golf, Dre. Start of October. All these schools still with a few more events before that winter break, and then heading into the spring and the sprint towards the conference championships and the NCAA postseason. But it's been great to be back here at GreatHorse. You're looking at the beautiful property right now here in Hamden, Massachusetts, about 25 miles north of the University of Connecticut. UConn hosting this event now for the 15th time and for the 6th time right here at GreatHorse. Just a gorgeous backdrop in what's been 3 really, really beautiful days weather-wise. Breeze picking up here in this final round on Tuesday, creating some trouble for the field and also some of those tricky hole locations as well. 17th fairway. Ryan Paymer.
And that's going to be a tricky putt as he lands just left of the center of the green, and that does spin over quite a ways, so he's going to have to traverse across the entirety of the width of it. Uphill, then downhill. We just saw one of his teammates roll it by quite a ways. It's just so tough to judge speed, man, when you're moving uphill then downhill, or even downhill then uphill.
Well, so here's where things stand right now. The Rhode Island Rams have a commanding 7-shot lead in the team tournament. That's actually even going to grow a little bit more as we put the finishing touches on. So Rhode Island will be your team winner here at the UConn Invitational. Looks like the host UConn Huskies are rallying and likely going to finish in second place here. They are the 5-time champions of this event, but it's Rhodey and the Rams taking care of business here this week. And Dre, really just an impressive final round from Rhode Island. They're 4 counting scores, still a couple left to post. 5 under par today as a team on a day where the scoring average is over 6 over par.
That's going to make coaches proud. When you finish strong and you come out there and you absolutely take it, that is a big win. So they will be celebrated later as long as they can hold this off and nothing weird happens. But there's not too many places the last few holes to get into a lot of trouble. Once you get through that 16th, you can lose it on the right-hand side, but 17 and 18, just get it in play and get it to the house. These guys are in great position. This now up at the 18th.
And a putt on the way for Rhode Island and Tony Liu. So that is the first putt in for the Rams here in this final round. As Jackson Leonard is next up for Villanova. And now back at the 17th. Pei-Cheng Chen of St. John's is the leader, and Dre scoring coming in. That was actually a finishing bogey for Pei-Cheng Chen. So here is the leaderboard. Chen, 4 under par, a bogey to finish, which means he is currently tied for the lead. Tyler Bruno is just also there at 4 under par. Ray Dennehy, who's at the 17th right now, he's got a chance to win this thing. It just got really tight.
Yeah, we said that Pei-Cheng Chen had to just sit and wait now, but this is a little more tension. It's nice to have people chasing you, and even if they do catch you, not that big of a deal as you can still go to a playoff, but right now they can easily pass. Still some holes to play. You just don't know what can happen.
Yeah, I had mistaken that long putt for a birdie putt, but Chen had
I
some
also
trouble.
did.
Well, Chen had some troubles off the tee. We saw his tee shot miss the fairway, so had to just muscle it up there for his 4th. Walks away with a 5. That's a finishing 70 for Pei-Cheng Chen. Still the leader in the clubhouse at 4 under par. Tyler Bruno through 15, and Ray Dennehy, you see him there at the front of the green, hand on hip for UConn. He is coming off a bogey at the 16th. So Dennehy, now 3 under par, is 1 shot off the lead. He'll putt in a minute, but right now the floor belongs to Ryan Paymer out of Villanova, just trying to finish strong here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he hasn't had his best stuff today, so would like to finish strong. Like to get something to fall, but this is not the putt that you want to be overly aggressive on. It's very easy to get this thing running past all the way to that right side of the green. Just trying to pick a point where he kind of wants this thing to die. It'll be a little bit short of the hole and hopefully trickle out the rest of the way. Looks like it has a little bit of pace. This is pretty nicely judged.
Next door at 18, UConn's Matt Costello.
Looked like that maybe found the left side of the fairway, just short of the bunker.
Here is Aiden O'Donovan from Rhode Island. O'Donovan, a really good day to help the Rams take home what looks like will be a team title. He is 2 under par here in this final round. So O'Donovan showing up strong for the team. The junior playing in his home state this week.
Yeah, looks pretty comfortable over the ball right now. 2 under par today. Just kind of got up there, gave it a waggle, and hit it out. Quick tee pickup. That's when you're in a nice rhythm, especially on a day like today when this breeze has picked up.
Big putt at the 17th. Ray Dennehy of UConn, 1 shot off the lead, trying to make a late charge.
Dennehy playing in his senior year. This would be a nice little feather in the cap if you could walk away winning your home tournament your senior year. First things first, though, he's got to get either this putt or find a birdie on the last, and this is going to leave some stress. This is the last thing you need. He knows it.
Knows where he stands in this tournament. Ray Dennehy, the UConn senior, 1 shot off the lead at the 17th, trying to make a late push, and he has some stress.
A little demonstrative there. Needs to gather himself because this is a big putt. He's got to give himself an opportunity on the last.
Rhode Island's Luke Stennett having the round of the day. Stennett 4 under par today. 5 birdies, just 1 bogey.
It's a 10 till maybe. Man, you can just feel it right now, the tension that is everywhere.
We've got a team read here on the Dennehy putt.
Well, he needs to find it. Fortunately, he's putting back uphill after letting that first putt roll by. I'd rather that than the distance that he has right now putting down the slope, just having to tickle it tentatively, trying to find that right line. At least from here, he can putt it pretty aggressively, and I don't think this does a whole lot, Mayan. I think he can keep this inside the hole and not really worry too much about speed. Just really make sure that you putt this aggressively and it has a chance.
So Dennehy trying to avoid any more late damage. Remain in the hunt.
Big putt.
Pours it in. Back on the tee. That is Tyler Bruno of Rhode Island. And
Awkward.
Bruno has just taken the outright lead. A birdie at the 16th, so he had the honor coming to 17. 5 under par. He's the leader by 1.
A little surprised that we haven't seen more drivers so far today, but the first 2 players off of this 17th tee electing to take driver.
Fairway found for Connor Good. Now Matt Zerfus from Villanova. That's back on the tee. Let's get you up to the green with Ryan Paymer. And Luke Stennett there of Rhode Island, who is in. And now Zerfus on the tee.
I should get this one.
It's just not confident right now. 7 over in his round and just trying to get it to the house. It just doesn't feel like he has any idea
Back in the fairway there.
where he's going to hit it, and that is not a good feeling. I've been there many a times, mine.
Well, here we go, Dre. The leader, Tyler Bruno, coming up this 17th. What's he need to do to conquer this par 4?
Yeah, just trying to elude every single bunker here that's surrounded by fescue. 384 yards, plays about 13 yards downhill off the tee. You've seen a couple players challenge this bunkers up here at the far end with driver. Not all that many. Pin cut on the far right-hand side, maybe the front portion of this green, and there is a collection area over to the right, but it does give you plenty of room and takes away the possibility of hitting it in this front left bunker that guards the green. You just got to get it on the surface, ideally just short of it. That'll leave yourself an uphill putt.
So that is at the 17th. This is live with you out at the par 4 18th. Just a couple groups left to finish up this UConn Invitational, and on the 18th tee, Ray Dennehy. Dennehy is still in the mix, trying to claw back late and track down now Tyler Bruno, who leads at 5 under par. So Dennehy, 2 shots back on the 18th tee.
I did the same thing today.
Yeah, this is a big tee shot here. Needs to find the fairway to give himself a chance to make birdie.
He's not plugged, right?
3 days in a row, right on that same hill.
And stay there?
On top, yeah. It's just plugged and stayed.
And is also going to need a little bit of help from Tyler Bruno.
On the downslope.
So they're definitely cutting, yeah. It's not turn right to left.
No.
So while Dennehy waits on that fairway to clear, we'll get you to the 17th fairway. The final group at the 17th fairway, Matt Zerfus of Villanova, last year's individual champion Connor Good, and the leader Tyler Bruno, the true freshman at Rhode Island from West Palm Beach, played at the Benjamin School, part of that state championship team last year, trying to pick up his first collegiate win now here at the UConn Invitational. It's been a great week at GreatHorse, always is when we make the trek to Hamden. Now the 6th time it is hosting this UConn Invitational, which is in its 15th iteration. Hosted by the Huskies, campus just about 25 miles south of here, and this gorgeous track redone by Brian Silva back in 2012. The Antonacci family put so much into it to try and make it one of the best championship layouts in the Northeast. But it all comes down to this: 20 minutes of nerves to try and cap off a couple of titles. The team title will be handed out to the Rhode Island Rams, and Tyler Bruno trying to hold on for an individual win. 17th fairway, Villanova's Matt Zerfus striding in.
First one to hit.
A nice angle from the left side of this fairway, playing back uphill to this front right pin location. He cannot see the putting surface, so just trusting that that number is right.
Ball's in the air.
Unable to find the surface of the green there, and let's jump back down to the fairway.
Connor Good hit driver off the tee.
Ball's
That has a lot of spin. Is this going to stop? Because there is a ridge there that will collect way back down towards his feet, but it does fortunately stop on the little plateau just in front of the green.
And there is Tyler Bruno, the true freshman from Rhode Island, walking all the way up to the green, having the conversation with his coach, Greg Burke, leading this Rhode Island Rams squad, trying to tell his guy where to land this. Bruno with a one-shot lead, 4 under par already in the clubhouse. Pei-Ching Chen of St. John's sitting and waiting to see what happens as Bruno comes up the final 2 holes. Fresh off a birdie to get to 5 under, and Dre, he hit driver off this tee.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive tee shot, and I'm surprised there haven't been more players that have done this. You can just see where he's standing. There's not a whole lot of trouble, especially with that rough. It's not overly penalizing. Manages to find the first cut, and he's got plenty of green to work with, so should be able to just throw this up in the air and land it with loft. Ooh, that's going to be stressful. That landed on the back fringe and bounded through, so he's going to have some decisions to make, whether or not he wants to throw putter in his hand or if he wants to try to pitch that into the hill. And I would just guess probably put a putter in his hand, just being the situation. You want to take out every kind of risk with a one-shot lead.
Leads by 1, has missed the green here at the par 4 17th. Tyler Bruno, the Rhode Island freshman, trying to close out an individual victory And Rhode Island now a remarkable final round. The Rams are 1 under as a team this week. 6 under par today in their 4 counting scores. That is 14 strokes clear of UConn, who's going to take home second place. That's good. Plays up from the front edge there. And has a short putt left for par.
Yeah, that worked off the green quite a ways. Now Tyler Bruno has his hands full, having to work up a ridge just right of the green. And then I'll quickly start moving from right to left. But tough to tell if he's going to want to. Looks like he has putter out. I think that's probably the most prudent play. But the difficulty here, mine, is going to just be judging the speed. You're moving from one surface to another, from the fringe onto the green. So in the back of your mind, you don't want to get this thing hammered too much to where it really starts chasing through. That is going to start to accelerate halfway through. A little pat on the back from Coach.
1-shot lead for the freshman, trying to close out an individual win. 3rd shot on the penultimate hole of the tournament.
Bruno just a freshman as well, so getting his career started off on the right foot. This is beautiful. There's a reason that this guy has the solo lead right now. With touch like that, under the circumstances, that was absolutely phenomenal right there, man.
He has left himself a short putt for par. Those are incredible nerves of steel for the freshman Tyler Bruno from West Palm Beach, that hotbed for professional golf down there in South Florida. Played his high school golf at the Benjamin School, coming off that state championship run, one of the really great programs in South Florida. And Bruno was one of the headliners, wasting no time in collegiate golf, already making an impact for Rhode Island. Here's Matt Zerfus from Villanova, his 3rd.
And you can see how easy that was to do. So for Tyler Bruno to make that look as simple as he did, to get it on the surface and close, that was quite phenomenal. Zerfus now, I thought he was just going to get up there and hit that, but
yeah,
glad to see that he's taking a little time, maybe taking a breath.
So while he looks things over, we'll go up to the 18th and at the green. A couple of groups finishing up. Aiden O'Donovan from Rhode Island. How much longer we got you here, Dre? And now Zerfus.
Break. Just give him something. Let something good happen to him. I'm already logged in. I just need to sign off of here.
Cool. Sounds good. Just say the word and I'll be like, peace, Dre. So here is Connor Good from UConn for par.
Why do you think it looks so good?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to this, Mayan, but under the circumstances, your freshman year, looking to make a name for yourself, there's just a little bit more pressure on this, but he seems pretty calm going through his routine.
And he pours it in. So Tyler Bruno, the Rhode Island freshman, has a one-shot lead going to the last.
And he's going to have a big drive coming up.
Now, it was Alicum of Villanova who has missed, but the march for Bruno up to the 18th tee. All right, Dre, I know we've got to let you go here soon. You've got a national radio show to do with SiriusXM. So for Tyler Bruno here, coming up the last, a freshman trying to close out the first win in his collegiate career, how does he hang on and close things out?
Well, first things first, it's easier said than done. He's going to need to find the fairway. You're just trying to eliminate every bit of stress that you have. But the way he's been playing, he seems confident. He seems like nothing has changed in his routine. He's sticking to what has got him to this point, and that's exactly what he needs to keep doing. I think his coach will kind of be with him as a sounding board. I don't think that he will probably say a whole lot to him, but just kind of there as comfort. Give him a little pat on the back. He knows he's playing well. Let him know that he's playing well and to just keep doing it. But time to finish strong, time to get yourself in the fairway, find the surface, and, you know, if you've with a lead that you've built yourself only by one, all you got to do is make par. So that's going to be the goal here, and if you can somehow make birdie, that's just going to be icing on the cake.
So it all comes down to the final hole here at the UConn Invitational. Dre, thanks so much, buddy. A lot of fun, as always. That is Andre Gonzalez getting ready to go hop on and do a national radio show. Listen to him and John McGinnis after we finish our coverage right here on GolfCast.
Perfect.
So
Thanks,
we'll
buddy.
have you here the rest of the way, all coming down to the final hole at GreatHorse. The Rhode Island Rams are going to be your team champion of the UConn Invitational, but it is their freshman out in the anchor spot today, the fifth and final tee time for Rhode Island. He has a one-shot lead coming up the final hole, the par 4 18th.
Nice job. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Trey. See you, man. A beautiful backdrop here at GreatHorse. Hamden, Massachusetts is our home for the week. Just 24 miles north of campus for this UConn Invitational. Now it's 15th playing, and for the 6th time up here at this property that was purchased and renovated by the Antonacci family. You may have heard from for their magnificent harness racehorses. Fred Sr., he is Fred the Elder in the Hall of Fame for racehorsing, and, well, maybe a thoroughbred in the making for Rhode Island. Tyler Bruno, the freshman, a one-shot advantage as we wrap up our coverage here on GolfCast at the UConn Invitational in 2024. So Bruno leads by one. We'll get you up to speed with an updated look at the leaderboard in a moment. But on the team side, it is all Rhode Island. The Rams lead by a dozen with just a couple groups left on the golf course. This is the individual title, and what it all comes down to, Tyler Bruno, a one-shot lead. Pei-Ching Chen is in the clubhouse at 4 under par for St. John's. A watchful eye on what is taking place out here behind him. So will Bruno be able to hold on and close things out? Meanwhile, in the fairway, the Huskies are wrapping up. That is Ray Dennehy. Dennehy was in the mix as well. If he holds it, it is a finishing eagle. And that will be a great opportunity. So Dennehy not necessarily out of it. It could be a two-shot swing. He's 3 under par, 2 shots off the lead. If Dennehy makes that birdie putt and Bruno walks away with a bogey, we've got 3 players tied at 4 under par. So Ray Dennehy still with a chance here in the 11th hour. Now Luke Stennett from Rhode Island. This 18th hole, 453 yards on the scorecard. Second shot does play a couple yards uphill, back up towards that clubhouse and that wonderful finishing perch here at GreatHorse. And Stennett with the round of the day from the field. He is 4 under par here today, firing on all cylinders as he attacks. And so he'll need to get up and down from that fringe there, right on the knuckle by the bunker at the last. And it currently in a tie for fourth, could grab a share of third and make it 2 Rams on the podium. And with a strong birdie finish, or maybe even a par, ends up being good enough depending on what happens behind him. Beautiful day. The breeze has picked up. A little bit of wiggle in those fiberglass flag sticks for the first time this week. And it all comes down to the last. What else could you want? It's the UConn Invitational, and the individual title rests on the shoulders of what this freshman will do. Tyler Bruno from Rhode Island leads by 1
I got it.
on the 18th tee. And he's found the fairway bunker. Par will be good enough to win, but Bruno slightly out of position in the fairway bunker. The lip shouldn't be a big issue. Just a little bit of adrenaline pumping through the veins of the youngster. Last Husky on the golf course, last year's defending individual champ in Connor Good. And a good tee ball there, right down the heart of the fairway, way down there. Matt Zerfas of Villanova, rounding out the trio. Seems to like it. Oh, and he should. In the right half of the fairway there as Zerfas tries to finish strong for the Wildcats. All right, it all comes down to this. The Rhode Island freshman, Tyler Bruno, has a one-shot lead in the fairway bunker at the 18th, trying to win for the first time.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at FlightScope.
If you think about old ideas in new ways, you'll start asking new questions about how a sensor for surgeons can help divers stay safe. Or whether we can make new plastics from old clothes. So you'll begin to understand how things are interconnected, and you'll recognize that the orbit of our planet is the same as the arc of a three-pointer, which will lead you to look for more ways to understand the world. And for that, you'll start at a university where having new ideas has always been the idea.
Finishing up here at GreatHorse, it is the final round of the UConn Invitational. 54-hole event. We started things on Sunday. Some teams arrived as early as Saturday for practice rounds, and it's all going to come down to the last. 18th green, we've got a couple final shots. This is Luke Stennett of Rhode Island. Round of the day, 4 under par here. And that will be left to post a final round 68. The number crunching begins back in the fairway. Tyler Bruno is our leader by 1, the Rhode Island freshman who was the 18-hole leader. 67 in the opening round, came back with a second round 73 yesterday, but has battled valiantly here in this final round on Tuesday. Bruno with 4 birdies, 3 bogeys. He is 1 under par and leads by 1. Pei-Cheng Chen of St. John's, the senior, is in the clubhouse at 4 under par. UConn's Ray Dennehy has a putt to post 4 under up on the 18th green as well. But all that is moot if Tyler Bruno can walk away with a par here to post 5 under and win this thing. Now, the freshman talking with the vet coach, Greg Burke, leading Rhode Island back out in the fairway. So Bruno trying to close out the first individual title of his career. His team will take home the title this week. The Rhode Island Rams on their way to winning the UConn Invitational. Connecticut's Ray Dennehy not mathematically out of it yet, but this putt has to fall. He's 3 under par, and with a birdie here would tie the clubhouse lead at 4 under. If Bruno were to bogey the last, that would mean a 3-way tie at the top. Must make for Ray Dennehy. Senior playing in this home event for the final time of his collegiate career with a birdie putt to tie the clubhouse lead. Dennehy just misses the edge. Oh, he gave it a great run. You can tell he knew exactly what it meant. Did not leave it short down the slope. But that last effort will come up shy for Ray Dennehy. At best, will finish 3 under par, which will be 1 back of the clubhouse lead and 2 back of Tyler Bruno, who is in a fairway bunker. So Luke Stennett walking in for Rhode Island. Stennett's had a really nice day at GreatHorse. Only 1 bogey to go along with 5 birdies. The list for par to post 68. So maybe a slightly sour finish for Stennett. That's a bogey at the last, but a 69 in round 3, and Luke Stennett will post 5th by himself. Meanwhile, the anticipation builds back in the fairway as Tyler Bruno will check the numbers once again. He's in the fairway bunker. That is the predicament, exactly what he is facing there. We'll have to elevate the ball semi-quickly. The ball not all the way in the upslip, but playing up the hill, up towards the clubhouse. So 2 last putts until that dance floor clears. This is Ryan Paymer. And it's just been that kind of day for Villanova. The Wildcats, 25 over par here in this final round. So they're going to fall down to 5th place in the UConn Invitational. Bruno is walking in. Second shot from the fairway bunker. He has a 1-shot lead. That was not the cleanest contact. Just in front of him, in the shadows of the trees, for Tyler Bruno. So Bruno still back in the fairway near the landing zone, getting ready to play his 3rd. Dennehy to post 3 under. And he does. So Ray Dennehy in at 3 under par in his final crack here at this home event, the UConn Invitational. But oh boy, did things just get a little bit exciting? Exciting for us as the viewers. I'm sure the nerves are up for the Rhode Island Rams because Tyler Bruno is still back in the fairway, just there on the left of your screen, outside the shadows of the trees. He advanced the ball maybe 50 yards out of the fairway bunker, perhaps caught a little bit of a lip and maybe not the cleanest contact combined with it. So the leader is about to play his third, still from back in the fairway. This, though, is Matthew Zerfus. Zerfus not having his best go at it today. Came in one shot off the lead and in a tie for second, but just got climbed on the bogey train a little bit early in this one. One birdie here in the final round for Zerfus, and trying to make that two with a good approach here at 18. Safely aboard. That would be a good way to finish if Matt Zerfus could roll it in. As Connor Good wastes no time and plays in for UConn. What a shot. Connor Good. Almost a walk-off eagle. Oh, what a way to finish for last year's individual champ. Nice and tight for birdie. Shot of the day here at the par 4 18. Here we go. Tyler Bruno. One shot lead. Drove it into the fairway bunker. Advanced the ball some 50 yards out of it.
A lot of adrenaline. Take a breath.
This his third. He leads by one. Pei-Cheng Chen of St. John's in the clubhouse at 4 under par. So Bruno must get up and down from here to win and must salvage a bogey to force a playoff. Third shot.
Left from the par.
Not what he was looking for.
It's in back bunker.
So Tyler Bruno has missed the green in 3. He's in the back bunker. If he holds out, he wins. Up and down, he's in a playoff. Otherwise, Pei-Cheng Chen of St. John's is your winner here at the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. Oh, the drama all coming down to the final hole and the final few shots. Hey, thanks for hanging with us if you made it this far. Big shout out to our wonderful Golf Cast crew led by producer Peter Smith, Gus Garcia pressing all the right buttons. We've got Troy Hagan out on the golf course, Noah jumping in and helping us out as well. Such a privilege to bring you this collegiate action from Hamden, Massachusetts here at GreatHorse. GreatHorse is giving us a great tournament. Last year it was a one-shot win for Connor Good out of UConn. And, well, this year it looks like it's all going to come down to the shoulders of Tyler Bruno and what he does for Rhode Island. Up and down to force a playoff, or else Pei-Cheng Chen is your winner of the UConn Invitational. Leaves starting to change colors on this beautiful Brian Silva designed track. 7,600 yards when you play it all the way from the back. Just under 7,100 yards here this week. And it's going to come down to the last 20 greenside yards to decide a winner. Tyler Bruno arriving. He is in the back bunker. Lying 3. Tee shot was left into the fairway bunker. chunked and hit the lip outside of that, advanced some 50 yards, and then hit his third to here. So his fourth shot.
Get your landing spot.
Yeah.
Avoid.
Has to get it up in a hurry. Lie is clean. Ball slightly on the upslope, which will help Bruno elevate this. But you can see the massive amount of gallery on the hillside. That entire UConn team is there. All the other teams up near the clubhouse porch as well. And all eyes are on the Rhode Island freshman. Tyler Bruno. If he holds it, he's your champion. Oh, he gave it a good effort.
I got it.
Wonderful shot given the circumstances for the freshman Tyler Bruno. That is a putt to force a playoff. Now a couple of putts to finish up for Villanova and UConn. This is Matt Zerfus of Villanova. Now, in the event that there is a playoff and there's a tie for the individual title, players will go back to number 1, then 15, and then 18, repeating in a sudden death fashion. That's the crowd, and they all know what is exactly at stake and what is on the line. Zerfus getting ready for this birdie effort. Tyler Bruno has a putt to force a playoff, which will be sudden death. Holes 1, 15, and 18 rotating until we have a winner. So if Bruno makes the putt, we'll head to the first in a playoff between him and Pei-Ching Chen. If they tie that hole off to 15, then to 18 until we have a winner. It's a good run at it at the end there for Zerfus. And just a tough final day. And so he finishes outside the top 10 here for Villanova. Now Connor Good finishing up. What a wonderful shot in here by the UConn Husky. Last year's individual champion hit the shot of the day, just 1.5 foot. That is a finishing birdie for Connor Good. 1 under par today, and he will finish in a tie for 5th.
Noah, go tight on him.
It sets the stage for Tyler Bruno, the Rhode Island freshman, trying to force a playoff with the St. John's senior. This is a bogey putt to keep the UConn Invitational going. If it falls, we head to the first for a sudden death battle. If it doesn't, Pei-Ching Chen is your champion. To force a playoff. Pei-Ching Chen wins the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. The St. John's senior, the reigning Big East individual champion, will add another notch to his all-conference belt as he picks up the victory here in the second week of the fall. A heartbreaking finish for the Rhode Island freshman Tyler Bruno. A double bogey at the last, and finishes in a tie for second. But the Rhode Island Rams are your team champion. A runaway victory for Bruno and the Rhode Island Rams, who will celebrate in Connecticut by taking home the victory at GreatHorse. Being told by his coach to keep his head up high, consoled by his teammates, certainly not the last we'll see and hear of Tyler Bruno. Nearly won in his second collegiate start out here at GreatHorse. Comes up just a shot shy. Certainly will be back trying to make a run with this Rhode Island team towards an A10 championship in the springtime. Well, that wraps up the UConn Invitational at GreatHorse. We have our winners. It'll be the Rhode Island Rams and Tyler Bruno. Always fun to be up here at GreatHorse for the UConn Invitational, which delivers year after year. Now, the 15th edition of the UConn Invitational is in the books. For the 7th time, we have come to this championship track in Hamden, Massachusetts, and it just continues to deliver top-notch quality golf. 2018 host of the Massachusetts State Open, and, well, it gave us some drama all the way down to the end. 13 teams, 78 players began the week, all with one goal, and that has wrapped up at the end of this 54-hole competition. So from here, you look ahead to the rest of the fall schedule. These 13 teams will all be back in action a couple more times each before that winter pause. And then in the spring, it is a sprint towards May and the conference championships. And if you're so lucky to keep playing after that, the NCAA tournament. But with that, we've wrapped things up here at GreatHorse up in Hamden, Massachusetts. One of two home courses for the UConn Huskies. And, well, the owners of this place, the Antonacci family, they are award-winning breeders of magnificent harness racehorses. This week, it was a great championship battle. We had a birdie derby on full display. Tyler Bruno unable to close it out at the end, so Pei Ching Chen is your individual champion, and the Rhode Island Rams will take home the team victory on what was a brutally tough final day. Scoring average almost 7 shots over par for the field here in this final round of GreatHorse. And as you'd expect, that big bad beast at the end, the 18th hole, the toughest on the golf course this week. We have wrapped things up at the UConn Invitational. Congratulations are in order. Another great week at GreatHorse as we wrap up this wonderful event up in Massachusetts.